Geometry. Some terms that I want you guys to understand in this video. The first one's what's called congruent segments, and congruent segments are segments that have the same length. Okay, and the word is congruent. Okay, I drew a picture here, and there's lots of stuff on it. But here's what I did: I drew segment AB, and then I put M right in the middle, such that AM is equal to MB. And remember, when you write symbols with letters right next to each other, or I'm sorry, when you write letters with no symbols above them, then that means distance. That word right there says distance. It's really sloppy. So the distance from A to M is equal to the distance from M to B. Now, this definition says if they're the same length, then you can write in a congruency statement. Okay, so these two statements, they are similar, but they mean, they mean the same thing, but they have different notation. So this says segment AM, remember that's the segment symbol, and there's your congruency symbol. You put an equal sign with a little squiggly above it. Segment AM is congruent to segment MB. Okay, they are interchangeable, but in our geometry, when we talk about things being congruent, we'll use this one. Remember, congruency goes with segments, equal sign goes with distances. Now take a look at this picture. This is of equal importance. We're going to need to mark pictures in here and remember when things are congruent, which means they have the same distance. So in this picture right here, notice that I put these little slashes like you would see maybe on a number line. Those are called tick marks. Okay, so tick marks will help show congruency. That's the first term. The next one, one that some students seem to find obvious from time to time, I don't know. It says between. If B is between A and C, then all 3 points must lie on the same line. So if you go back up to this previous picture using different letters, M is between A and B, which means all 3 lie on the same line. I just switched the letters on this next one. Okay, our third term is midpoint. If M is a midpoint of AC, then M bisects. This is a rare thing that you'll see, a vocab term inside of another vocab term. Bisects means divide. If M is the midpoint of AC, then M bisects the segment into 2 congruent segments. Okay, so AC is our segment. And this actually should have a segment symbol above it. If not, it means distance, right? AC. And if M bisects the segment, then M's right here. And we could put tick marks very similar to a picture that you see above because it divides into 2 congruent segments. You'll see the phrase segment bisector, which just means cut a segment in half. Later, we'll also see a term called angle bisector. And here's an example of that. Here's an angle. An angle bisector would look like this. Goes right through the middle. And I'll tell you, just kind of in advance, to show angles are congruent, which means they have the same measure, use what's called arc marks. So that's not ready. We're not ready for that just yet. We will be seeing that next week, just so you know. Thanks for listening.